Ladies and gentlemen.
This is Gospel of Mark 8:27 through 34. And Yahushua went out and his Talmudim into the towns of Philippi. And by the way, he asked his Talmudim, saying unto them, Whom do men say that I am? And they answered, Yahuchanan, baptizer, John the Baptist. But some say Eliyahu, meaning Elijah, and others one of the prophets. And he said unto them, But who say ye that I am? Who do you say that I am? And Kepha, meaning the rock, Peter, answered and said unto him, You are Hamashiach, the Messiah. And he charged them that they should tell no man. He began to teach them that the son of Adam, him, the Messiah, must suffer many things and be rejected of the elders and of the chief priests and scribes and be killed. And after 3 days he will rise again. And he spoke that, saying openly. And Kepha, Peter, took him and began to rebuke him. But when he had turned about and looked on his tongue, he rebuked Kepha, Peter, saying, Get behind me, Satan, for you savor not the things that be of the Lord, but the things that be of man. So let's unpack this for a moment. Peter was just renamed Kepha, meaning the rock, and the rock, firm foundation of his church. And now the Messiah, Yahushua, is calling him Satan. He's saying, Stand behind me, Satan. Why is this? Well, because he is quoting the Torah. Yahushua is saying that the son of Adam, meaning himself, must suffer many things and be rejected of the elders and of the chief priests and the scribes and be killed. When Peter hears this, he says, Oh, no, I won't let that happen. You will not be killed. I rebuke that. That never will that happen. And after 3 days, rise again. And then Yahushua rebukes him, saying, Stand behind me, Satan. Why? Because was in that moment was Peter trying to be evil? Was he, did he have some ill will or ill intention? No, I don't think so. I think he was working out of the compassion of his heart. He saw, he didn't want to see his teacher, die. So he was operating from what he thought a good place. Now, I love this verse in Scripture because it reminds us that we can often be trying to operate from a good place in our hearts. But ultimately, if we're not scripturally backboned, if we're not, anchored in the Word, then we're by default, because remember, the Word is truth, infallible truth. So if we're not anchored in it, we're by default operating in the spirit of lies. Who's the father of lies? Satan, the enemy. So, I love this verse because it just reminds us to tread lightly and, not puff our chest. Earlier or later on in Scripture, it talks about the leavened bread. Beware of the way the Pharisees, act when they puff their chests all out, acting like they know it all. And, they look down on others because they're basically like they're leavened bread. So I think that this is why, ultimately, the reason why Yahushua had renamed Simon Peter Kepha, the rock, because he has a good heart. He knew that. He knew that he was always going to strive and to do his best to do the right thing. But even the best of us can oftentimes be doing the wrong thing for the right reason. So, again, I love this scripture, this verse in Scripture, because it just reminds us to sometimes just take a step back and walk lightly and just make sure that we're anchored in the Word. Making sure that what we're projecting what we're teaching to other people and how we're leading is ultimately anchored in our own opinion and our moral desire to keep people with us or anything like that. So again, shalom, shalom. I hope this helped.